Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday morning. It's very rainy here in Newcastle. But on Tuesday, in the Melbourne Cup at Flemington, it's going to be fairly dry. There's a brief shower on Monday night expected, but pretty sure we're going to have a really good track for the Melbourne Cup. It's going to be a great day, as you can imagine. Just a reminder, we'll update the diary for latest changes on Tuesday after the scratchings. It'll be about 10:30 because of daylight saving time and so on, so I get all the information for the day, as well as the Melbourne Cup, of course. I'm Gary Robinson, and this is for Windform Racing Club members and readers. Our website is www.horseracingaustralia.info. Now, into the Cup. Okay, what I'm going to do next is take you on a journey. And first of all, just to let you know that over the last 40 or 50 years or so, I actually had a stage once where I got the winner of the Melbourne Cup 36 times out of 40 years. And that ends going, including 2015, the 100 to 1 winner there, and 3 of the top 4, which unfortunately wasn't enough to get me the $450,000 dividend that it paid. But I've got to keep trying. So the first thing I'm going to look at is I'm coming back here, and we're going to look at my bookstore because there's something I want you to look at here. So you can see what it is. That's horseracingaustralia.info/shop/. Okay, we can go in there and click on the books. The reason I'm doing this is because I have a book in there which is on sale at the moment. Okay, so Make Racing Pay. I've included in there how you can actually make a profit on the Melbourne Cup, and it doesn't require any form whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it shows you how you can back the entire field and make a profit. Also in that book is how to do the form manually. So get a form guide, work out your own version of the form for Melbourne Cup, and make yourself happy doing that if you end up backing the winner. The best way is to probably back not just one horse. That would be a bit ridiculous, but anyway. Okay, so as you can see, the ebook there is $36. However, if you choose the Make Racing Pays More package, you'll actually get 2 books, including Make Racing Pay and my other book that I produced years ago. Make Racing Pay, by the way, has reproduced itself multiple times and completely sold out in hard copy over the years. And the other book, Racing Pays More, it's also sold very, very well. Now, thousands of people have bought those books, and it gives you the information you need to assess the Melbourne Cup and to be able to make a profit no matter which of the horses wins. Now, to look at the current Melbourne Cup market, let's look at vicbet.com. You'll see all the usual notices are here about gambling and so on. And this is, I have to be honest, it is a gamble unless you back all the horses. So I'll just give you a little bit of a clue here. So what vicbet.com does, they will give you a bet called Bob. That is the best of the best. So in other words, if this was on the day and you saw this particular horse here, Gold Trip, $4.60 out to $5.50, and let's assume it goes back into $4.80, then best of the best would pay you $5.50. If it turned out the tote prices got out to say $6 or $7, it would give you the best of the 3 totes for the win. Now, also, it'll give you the best of the 3 totes for the place. Now, this is a big difference. Anyway, so you can see all the betting there. So Vauban is the favourite. It's actually in England, it's actually a hurdler, but anyway, let's not worry about that. And it races over extreme distances. It's $3.50 favourite, and I can't figure out why, but nevertheless, somebody knows something, do they? Okay. Without a fight, 7's into $6.50 and so on. Now, if we have a look at the bottom line here, we see that current win market is 126.3%. That's 126.3%. On the day, normally the dividends will come down to somewhere between 110 and 118%. So the prices will vary during the day. So this one here is 151 into 101. That represents less than 1.2 1% change in the price, whereas up here we saw with Vauban, $3.20 out to $3.50 is actually a substantial bit of drift in the price. It doesn't seem like it because it's only like 30 cents, but that's about a 10% drift. So you can see that's a clue as to what you can do to get the best prices anyway. So I'm going to go now to our GTX program, which is the Winform GTX program is the one I've used. And we're going to look at a few clues for the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. Okay, now you'll be looking at this and think, hang on, Magical Lagoon, isn't that 200 to 1 or something? I think it is. However, what I want to show you, I've put these in order of the speed map. And you can see that Magical Lagoon is expected to be on the pace, as is Serpentine. Bow and Declare, Break Up, it's an interesting runner actually. And Calipore, Cleveland, which won the Moonee Valley Cup. And I just want to tell you about Calipore. And the thing with Calipore is this. You might notice on Saturday, the time of the race that it won was very slow. And Calipore did this because it was only 6 runners, stayed in front and just kept going at a steady pace all the way through and was able to win without too much energy being spent. So there have been horses, there was one horse here I noticed which ran last year, and unfortunately for that horse, it just wasn't able to hang on at the end of the Cup and finished well back because it just couldn't keep the horses back enough. Now Gold Trip, up until last year, it only won 1 race. The Melbourne Cup was its second race win, and of course it won 1 race this year, so only 3 races. But it also has good form because it won this race last year. It'll carry more weight, and you can see it's going to run midfield. Horses coming from the back. Soulcombe has a fair bit of backing, and it's going to come virtually right back from last, they say. Cleveland is midfield. Right You Are is in there. Vauban looks like it's going to race probably about 4 or 5 runners back, and that was its pattern overseas. When you're in running in hurdle races, that tends to be what you do. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it over to the ratings I've done on Winform, and you'll see that I've got Calipore here at $6, Serpentine at $6.10. I'm not really excited about that. If you look at last year, on the Melbourne Cup, it was leading up there and leading right through. It was leading at the turn. Whoop, wrong one. It was leading at the turn. It had faded back to 20 and finished 20th out of 22. So absolutely hopeless, you would think. But you can see now that its form, it's going to be up with the leaders, and that's one of the reasons I put it in there. And the problem is it's got to be able to get a good run, and from barrier 1 it's sure to get a good run. That's worth a lot of money in the fact of where it's drawn. It's also going to be handy for the other Waterhouse runners to save them from working too hard. Anyway, as you can see, it's also only had 3 runs. It says it's a 7-year-old, but by European time it's actually a 6-year-old. So rough chance, that's all I can say. But nevertheless, based on everything I know, it's got to be in there. You've got Without a Fight, as you can see. And then Gold Trip, actually on its form, it rates 4th. And that's based on the Caulfield Cup run where it ran 3rd. Okay. It ran 5th in the Cox Plate. Was actually only beaten 1.4 lengths in the end and was blocked for a run. But it was always, not getting the best of runs in that race. And also it was too short for it. This race here obviously took something out of it. 16th of the turn to win by nearly 2 lengths. That was a fabulous run. And it was slowly away. Anyway, so it's in barrier 2. Not going to do it a lot of good, but it should mean it can take up a handy position without using too much energy. And of course, as you can see here, it's a stallion, so it's got plenty of gear on it still. Also, it's listed as a 7-year-old, but it's really a 6-year-old because it's an overseas horse. Okay. Cleveland, of course, well, if you look at Cleveland, you find that it won the Moonee Valley Cup in a 70.9. It won by 3/4 of a length. Before that was second at Randwick in the Metro, 82.6 Oh, sorry, it wasn't that drop. Sorry. Anyway, nevertheless, it ran an 82.2 there and 82.6 there. You can see last start on a weight rating at 103.5. Okay, so when I go down to, where have I got Vauban second last? One of the reasons is because it hasn't started for a while. I'll take the penalty off. I apologise, it'll come up a bit there. So over here, we can see the weight rating was 105, was 107 then. This is what everybody's going on. It was a 2,800 metre race where it run by 7.5 lengths, has a lot to do with why it's favourite. So it looks pretty good, and won by 1.5 lengths there. But when I've analysed the time here, it's actually run 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Sorry, 185.28, and I'm not sure that that is going to be all that good for this sort of run where the Melbourne Cup is frequently finished in about around 2 minutes and some seconds. What? 3 minutes and about 20 seconds. But this was nearly 400 metres shorter, and that's why I'm not following it. But anyway, as you can see, there are 24 horses in there with a chance. You can back it if you like. I would probably save on it maybe, but there are a lot of horses you can back in this race, and as I'll show you once again on the Vic Bet page, you can see there are just a lot of horses with a chance that are way out there. So as much as I've backed so many winners, I've always found it difficult with the overseas runners. And these particular horses, ones like that, very hard to assess when they've never raced here before. Many of these horses have actually raced here before. They've come over here, they've been acclimatised, had a few runs over here, got acclimatised to the conditions, so you know that the form that they present over here is good. So that's all I can say for now. I do wish you all the best of luck on Tuesday. Now, don't forget, if I can go back to that original page here, can I? I'm not sure. No, I can't. Yes, I can. Where is it? See if I can find it. No, I can't. But anyway, let's go back to the website. This is where you can buy your books from if you want to buy your books. This here is where you can find the diary. Just click on there and my latest information on Melbourne Cup Day will be down here. Good luck and thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe.